Sobibor, the camp that wasn't meant to be seen. October 1943. Eastern Poland. The forest around Sobibor looks peaceful from the air. Endless green, a clearing marked by railway tracks, a few low buildings, and smoke drifting lazily toward the horizon. To those on the trains, it seems like another transit station, but it isn't. Sobibor exists for one purpose: erasure. The Nazis call it a special camp. No one ever leaves it alive. In just over a year, more than 250,000 Jews have been murdered here, their names vanishing into the wind like ash. There are no records kept for them, because the camp itself is designed to erase every trace. Inside the camp, between rows of barbed wire and watchtowers, the ground is soft, sandy, easy to dig. The SS see this as a minor inconvenience. The prisoners see it as a possibility. Among them is Alexander Pechersky, a Red Army lieutenant captured near Minsk. Before the war, he was a music teacher, gentle, intelligent, fluent in Russian and German. Now, he wears striped prison clothes and carries logs to feed the crematoria. But when he first arrived at Sobibor, he looked down at the ground, then at the fences, and whispered to another prisoner, "Soft earth means hope." Hope in Sobibor is dangerous. Guards shoot for less. A wrong glance, a misplaced step, a whisper. Commandant Franz Reichleitner, a cold and efficient Nazi officer, prides himself on perfection. No escapes, no witnesses, no stories. His SS officers believe Sobibor is invisible to the outside world, its secret buried beneath the pine trees. But they have underestimated the people they imprisoned. The first whisper of a plan. The prisoners in Sobibor aren't ordinary laborers. Among them are carpenters, blacksmiths, miners, tailors, mechanics, and engineers, people used to building, fixing, digging. Many once owned businesses, repaired homes, built entire towns. Now, in a place designed to dehumanize them, their skills will become the key to survival. It begins small. One night in the repair shed, two prisoners, Leon Feldhendler, a former organizer from Poland, and Shlomo Schmeisner, a young but resourceful craftsman, whisper over the sound of hammering. Leon sketches in the sawdust with a nail, tracing lines toward the outer fence. "If we go under the fence," Leon murmurs, "we reach the tree line here." It's less than 30 meters. Shlomo shakes his head. The ground is wet. "It'll collapse," Leon replies, eyes sharp. "Not if we use boards. We build supports. Quietly, one plank at a time." That night they start collecting wood. Splinters from the work sheds, beams from broken bunks, even bits of crates used to ship German uniforms. Every piece is smuggled under coats, hidden in toolboxes, and stacked behind the latrine, where the smell keeps guards away. It's suicide, but so is staying. Digging in the shadows. They dig with spoons, stolen shovels, tin cans, and even bare hands. Each handful of dirt is carried out in pockets, hidden inside sleeves, and dumped under the floorboards of workshops and barracks. By day, they repair wagons, smile for the guards, and appear broken. By night, they crawl underground, carving a path toward freedom. The tunnel starts as a hole no larger than a fox den, but night after night, it grows longer and deeper, first a few meters, then 10, then 20. The air inside tastes of clay and fear. Wooden beams creak as they press forward, inch by inch. Torchlight flickers over their dirt-streaked faces. Above them, the sound of SS guards laughing and boots stomping echoes like a distant storm. At one point, a section collapses. Sand buries a man almost to the chest. Hands claw him free in the dark. silent except for ragged breaths. He coughs once, wipes the dirt from his face, and goes right back to digging. They learn to reinforce the tunnel walls with wooden planks, to dampen sound with cloth, to dig only when the guards change shifts, when footsteps are most predictable. And all the while, Pechersky stands watch near the tunnel mouth, eyes fixed on the distant guard tower lights. Every night, he whispers, we move a little closer to life. The tunnel and the revolt. By early October, the tunnel stretches about 30 meters, under the fence, beneath a minefield, and into the forest beyond. It's barely wide enough for one person to crawl through. It smells of damp sand, sweat, and desperation. Inside, shirtless men work silently, passing tin buckets of earth back toward the entrance. Above ground, life goes on as usual. Forced labor, guards shouting, dogs barking. But something changes. Patrols increase. The ground above seems alive with footsteps. Someone might have talked. Whispers of fear ripple through the barracks. That night, Pechersky gathers the leaders in a cramped room, lit by a single candle. Shadows stretch long across the wooden walls. If we use the tunnel, only a few dozen can escape, he says quietly. The rest will die here. Leon bites his lip. If we revolt and fail, they'll burn us all. They'll burn us anyway, Pechersky replies. Better to die with a knife in our hands. The tunnel, once their sole hope, becomes part of a larger plan, a coordinated uprising. They'll lure SS officers into workshops under the pretense of fittings and repairs, kill them silently with axes and knives, seize their weapons, and storm the main gate. The tunnel will be the backup route, the lifeline for those who can't reach the fence in time. For days, tension thickens like smoke. Prisoners move like actors in a dangerous play. They whisper in code, time their work to the guards' routines, hide blades in tool handles, and sharpen axes under the excuse of preparing winter firewood. Every step is calculated. Every glance could mean death. October 14th, 1943, the revolt, 4 p.m. An SS officer named Beckman strolls into the tailor's shop to try on a freshly repaired jacket. Two prisoners step behind him. One pretends to adjust the collar. The other raises a hatchet. Thud. The sound is dull, like wood splitting. Beckman collapses to the floor. They drag the body behind a workbench and sprinkle sawdust over the blood. Within an hour, 11 officers lie dead in various corners of the camp, killed with blades, hammers, axes. The prisoners work fast, cold, efficient. No shouts, no hesitation. Then, a problem. A truck returns early from outside, full of armed SS men. The carefully timed plan cracks. A single gunshot echoes through the camp. Pechersky's voice cuts through the panic. Now! Chaos and courage, Sobibor erupts. Prisoners surge toward the gates shouting, for freedom, in multiple languages, Polish, Russian, Yiddish, Hebrew. Gunfire bursts from the towers. Bullets slice through the crowd. People fall, trampled in the rush, but others keep running. Some climb over the fence, others crawl under it, through mud and barbed wire. The tunnel, hidden beneath weeks of labor and fear, becomes a final, desperate escape route. A section of ground collapses, revealing the opening. Dozens scramble toward it. Covered in dirt, blood, and sweat, they crawl one by one into the dark. It's narrow, air is thin, but at the other end lies a forest and a chance. Above ground, chaos blinds the SS. Prisoners breach the wire, leap into the forest, vanish among the trees. Explosions and fires rip through Sobibor. For the first time since its creation, The camp, the machine of death, is out of Nazi control. Morning after. The smoke clears by dawn. Sobibor is a ruin. Fences ripped, workshops overturned, blood smeared in the sand. Reinforcements arrive from nearby garrisons expecting to suppress an ongoing revolt. Instead, they find silence and emptiness. Reichleitner storms through the camp, rage twisting his face. "How many escaped?" he demands. A guard stammers, "At least 300, Herr Kommandant. Maybe more." Reichleitner stares at the ground, refusing to believe it. 300 Jews? Through our wire? Impossible. Then he sees it. The tunnel. A gaping wound in the earth near the carpentry shed. Lantern light reveals planked walls, hand-dug passageways, and boot prints leading out into the trees. "They built this under our feet," he mutters. "Animals cannot build tunnels like this." But they had, with stolen spoons, saw blades, and a courage sharper than any weapon. The hunt. For days, SS units, local collaborators, and police swarm the surrounding forests. Dogs sniff the ground. Gunshots crack through the trees. Many escapees are recaptured or killed, hunted like animals, but others disappear into the wild. They join partisan groups, hide with sympathetic farmers, or vanish into the villages of Eastern Europe. Pechersky survives. He crosses the Bug River, rejoins Soviet lines, and tells Allied intelligence what happened, how a death camp that wasn't supposed to leave witnesses had exploded into rebellion. His testimony is like a spark in the dark, proof that even inside extermination camps, resistance lived. Erasing the evidence. The Nazis panic. Sobibor was supposed to be a ghost, a place with no survivors, no stories. Now, it's a global embarrassment. Within weeks, the SS dismantle the entire camp. They tear down every building, rip up the railway tracks, burn the barracks, and plant trees over the remains. They want to pretend Sobibor never existed, but they can't erase the memory of those who crawled through the dirt to freedom. Decades later, years after the war, archaeologists begin carefully excavating the site. Beneath the forest floor, they uncover fragments of the tunnel, collapsed planks, rusted nails, wooden supports, and nearby they find personal items, a comb, a broken shoe, coins, and a small star of David carved from bone. These are the silent remains of the night, when prisoners rewrote their fate. Today, Sobibor stands as a memorial. The forest is quiet again, but the air feels heavier, as if the ground itself remembers. Visitors walk along a trail where the tunnel once ran. They imagine crawling through the darkness, not knowing if the next breath would be air or sand. A plaque marks the spot. Here, beneath the earth, prisoners of Sobibor dug their way to life. Legacy of defiance. The revolt at Sobibor wasn't just an escape. It was a declaration that even in the heart of a death factory, human dignity can't be buried. The Nazis thought Sobibor would be forgotten, but survivors told their stories. Historians documented their names. Filmmakers, writers, and archaeologists dug where they once crawled. Out of about 600 prisoners in the camp that day, approximately 300 escaped during the revolt. Around 50 to 60 would survive the war. Many of them testified at post-war trials, ensuring Sobibor's story would never be erased. Pechersky himself lived to old age, carrying the memory of that night. When asked years later why he risked everything, he said, "We were already dead, but if we could fight, we could become human again, even for one night." The tunnel that broke the silence. Sobibor stands apart from other camps. It was not liberated by an army, it was broken from the inside, by ordinary people who refused to die quietly, people who turned spoons into shovels, beams into supports, fear into resistance. When Reichleitner stared into that tunnel, he saw something the Nazis could never truly understand. They built camps to erase humanity, but humanity found a way to dig back out. The story of Sobibor isn't just about the past. It's a reminder of the strength that lives even in the darkest places. A tunnel dug with hands and hope became a bridge between death and survival. And for the Nazis, who believed Sobibor was perfect, invisible, and unbreakable, it became their greatest humiliation. Because you can destroy a camp, you can burn a building, but you cannot bury courage.